a young man who, like his greatest example, was willing to lay down his life for others.
Deputy Bolter's loss weighs heavily on us, on all of us, and it's a burden we can't shoulder alone.
At this time, we would like to excuse the members of the Ada County Sheriff's Office patrol teams that are currently on shift to return to their duties, that they may continue the watch.
Deputy Bolter's bravery went far beyond the badge that he wore. His courage and dedication earned him the Purple Heart, a symbol of his unwavering commitment to duty.
Ada County Sheriff gave that prestigious decoration to Deputy Tobin Bolter's family during today's memorial service. You see him talking to Bolter's wife there, her parents and his parents by her side. The young deputy died in the line of duty a week and a half ago. Family, members of law enforcement, and faith leaders shared memories of Bolter during the service today. Abby Davis joins us now. And Abby, this was obviously an emotional couple of hours.
Right, Brian. Time and time again, speakers described Bolter as a man of deep faith, of respect, honor, and bravery. A man who died doing what he loved.
Attend, hut. Forward. March.
He had no fear in life because he didn't fear death.
Honor Guard and uniformed personnel, present arms.
This is a law enforcement ceremony that is steeped with tradition and honors.
For Ada County Sheriff Deputy Tobin Bolter, the 27-year-old died earlier this month after being shot during a traffic stop.
The outpouring that we are seeing from the community today is right, and it is fitting to honor Deputy Bolter because he courageously gave his life in the service of his community. How he was a man of persistence, how he was a man of joy, and how he was a man of faith, deeply rooted in the scriptures.
Bolter's wife of nearly 6 years, Abby, talked about that faith Tuesday. They were middle school sweethearts.
Since Tobin went home to be with the Lord, I am mostly grieving the loss of my best friend. We packed a lifetime of memories into the time that God gave us. It is my hope that you will leave this ceremony today understanding how much Tobin loved being a part of the law enforcement community, but mostly how Tobin loved God.
Tobin knew what broke God's heart, and that motivated him to pursue justice in this world. As a police officer, Tobin advocated for the oppressed, protected the vulnerable, and did everything he could to stop evil from harming others.
Ada County Sheriff Matt Clifford,
His impact is undeniable.
says Bolter's death leaves a gaping hole in their hearts and agency.
Let his sacrifice reignite the passion we have for our profession. He gives us hope and makes us better. To Abby, Tobin's parents Steve and Cindy, his sister Tessa, and his in-laws Benji and Shelley, thank you for your sacrifice. We are in your debt.
Before family and law enforcement carried his casket out, they played his end-of-watch call.
Radio to Sheriff 47. Unit Sheriff 47 is not responding. This is the final call for Deputy Tobin Bolter, badge 6466, with the Ada County Sheriff's Office, whose watch ended on April 21st, 2024. Deputy Bolter, thank you for your dedicated service. We have the watch from here.
Only family, friends, and law enforcement were allowed inside during the ceremony, but community members could watch outside in the Ford Center Amphitheater. More than 100 people showed up.
This isn't just hitting the family, it hits the community, and the fact that he was such a young guy and his wife's pregnant and stuff. I mean, if you think about the whole situation, it's heartbreaking.
Bolter's death is the first line-of-duty death in Ada County Sheriff's Office history. You can watch the whole memorial on our website, KTVB.com. But, Brian, it was just really, really touching.
That final call gets me every single time.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
devastating.
Abby. Well, before the service, hundreds of law enforcement members from across the state and the region joined a cross-county procession for Deputy Bolter. It started in Eagle near the intersection of Highway 55 and State Street around 12:30, headed west to Star, then traveled south to the Idaho Center. Hundreds of people lined the route, showing their support not only for law enforcement, but for Bolter's family.
This was just a fine young man with a baby on the way, and there was no reason for this to happen. I need to honor these type of people, the ones that have given their life to the service.
Is very respectful of law enforcement, and I think when something like this happens and we come together, it shows how much law enforcement means.
It's important for kids to respect and acknowledge the sacrifices that our law enforcement do to protect us, and also important to show respect for our community when there's a loss.
Well, one of the things we put on our sign is Emmanuel, which is God is with us. God is with her and her beautiful child that's growing, and so we will forever be praying for you and your baby, and we just can't wait to watch them grow.
Every day that you put on that uniform, you have to know that this could be the day that it happens for your city too. And it's so sad.
New information today. We learned yesterday the family of a Valley County boy who died after a tree fell onto the car he was riding in is suing the Idaho Transportation Department. Well, now we're hearing from one of the attorneys representing Colton Jones's parents and from the Idaho Transportation Department. In documents filed in Valley County, Jones's parents claim ITD was negligent and caused the wrongful death of their son. In June 2023, Colton was in the passenger seat as his grandmother was driving on Highway 55 between Banks and Horseshoe Bend. Boise County Sheriff says a dead tree fell on top of that car during a windstorm, snapping off at the top where it was dead. Jones, an 8th grader from Valley County, died and his grandmother was hurt. The family's attorney told us, quote, the first duty of government is public safety. When the state takes action about a well-known hazard only after a tragic death occurs, we have a fundamental failure of government. In response to the lawsuit, a spokesperson for ITD said any loss of life or injury on Idaho's roadways is a tragedy and something we take personally, and our hearts go out to the family. But because of pending litigation, they can't say anything else right now. The family is demanding a jury trial and up to $500,000 in damages, or the maximum amount they are able to receive. Well, tomorrow morning, court will resume in the triple murder trial of Chad Daybell. The judge had a scheduling conflict, so there was no court today. Daybell is accused of killing and conspiring to kill his first wife, Tammy, as well as two of his current wife, Lori Vallow Daybell's kids, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. You wanted to catch up on any of the first 13 days of the trial? We have full coverage with everything you need to know. It's on our website, KTVB.com. We also have all of our coverage in Spanish at KTVB.com/Espanol. In regional news, pro-Palestinian protesters have been barricading themselves inside the main library at Portland State University. That caused the university to close its campus today, canceling classes while it asks those inside to leave peacefully. Officials say students and others broke in last night, and the school is asking police to help remove those inside. Law enforcement gave no clear timeline, and the DA says he plans to prosecute people who may have broken the law. The campus itself has been relatively quiet today. No classes, no police, no confrontation. The only real activity has been outside the main library, where protesters have taken over and blocked the entrance. Here's Kyla Boshi with our sister station in Portland.
Portland State University abruptly canceled classes Tuesday after pro-Palestinian protesters broke into the university's main library. Demonstrators suggested roughly 25 to 50 PSU students, along with other non-students, were holed up inside the building. Protesters gathered over the past few days on the PSU campus, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. But the demonstration escalated Monday night. Windows and walls were vandalized. We saw one window broken at the library. PSU's president asked Portland police to help remove those occupying the main library. The student protest at Portland State follows similar demonstrations on college campuses around the country. Nearly 21,000 PSU students were out of class Tuesday due to the campus closure. How long do you think classes will be canceled?
I mean, maybe a couple of days. I'm not really sure. Hopefully, they can get their message across and something's changed.
Maybe they'd move them online or create some safe space in the library.
The language that is being used at these protests, at these encampments, on these signs, is creating a hostile environment for Jewish students.
We do know that cancellation will last at least one more day. Portland State posted tonight campus will remain closed tomorrow. It's unknown if or when police will try to remove those inside the library. Well, the public library in Parma has closed its doors. Last week, the Patricia Ramunko Library announced on social media it would be closing because of personnel issues. The library expects the closure to be temporary. They're accepting applications for new board members. For more information on the closure, visit our story at KTVB.com. And any items checked out of that library, well, those must be returned by May 9th. Still to come here on the news at 10, a 6-week abortion ban will become law tomorrow in Florida. We're going to take a look at the impacts the Sunshine State is facing or expecting to face. Plus, a judge held former President Trump in contempt, what it means when the judge says Mr. Trump violated a gag order in the hush money trial.
This is from the Idaho Weather Watchers, Baker City. And Kathy telling us that they had some light snow around the area for later this afternoon. What's the chances of that here in the valley tomorrow? I'll be back with the report.
In just a matter of hours, a 6-week abortion ban will take effect in Florida, a state that until now had one of the least restrictive abortion laws in the South. The impacts are expected to be widespread. NBC's Marissa Parra has more.
Tonight, abortion clinics in Florida stretched to the limit, squeezing in double, even triple the usual number of patients before the state's 6-week abortion ban takes effect tomorrow.
A lot of patients will come in for their consult and be told that we can't see them.
Kelly Flynn runs a clinic in Jacksonville.
Are you prepared for that moment when you have to tell the patients you can't treat them?
You don't. You can't prepare for that.
She says a third of their patients come from outside Florida. That's because the surrounding states have some of the strictest abortion laws in the country. Come tomorrow, the closest drivable options for care after 6 weeks will be North Carolina and Virginia.
We're looking at the Southeast completely like it's an abortion desert now.
State Rep Mike Beltran was one of the ban's sponsors.
We're a conservative state. We should not be allowing abortions, and we certainly shouldn't be providing abortion tourism for other states in the South.
He points out the law has exceptions for rape, incest, and human trafficking up to 15 weeks, and for the life of the mother and fatal fetal abnormalities.
When they are born, how are they going to be taken care of?
Cassie is 4 weeks pregnant. She didn't want us to share her last name, but told us she can't afford another baby, so she started the process of ending her pregnancy.
What is it that you think that they don't understand that you wish that they did?
I wish that they understood that there's more to having a baby than just birthing it.
In November, Floridians will vote on a proposed ballot amendment that would protect abortion rights until roughly 24 weeks. But Cassie worries what will happen to other women making difficult choices in the meantime.
By the end of this week, there might be women who are just 2 weeks further along than you, and they wouldn't be able to get the same procedure.
I would really feel for them because it's just not right.
Marissa Parra, NBC News, Jacksonville.
The judge presiding over Donald Trump's hush money case held the former president in criminal contempt today for violating a gag order. The judge found Mr. Trump committed 9 violations of that gag order through a series of posts on Truth Social attacking witnesses and jurors, as well as offending posts on his campaign website. Mr. Trump will be fined $1,000 for each violation and has also been ordered to remove those posts. NBC News has learned the Biden administration intends to announce an interim rule to reclassify marijuana for the first time since the Controlled Substances Act became law half a century ago. The DEA is expected to okay an opinion from the Department of Health and Human Services to reclassify cannabis from a Schedule I, which is the strictest classification, to Schedule III, which is less rigorous. This would mark the first time the federal government will acknowledge marijuana's potential medicinal benefits and begin to seriously study them.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
We were talking a little while ago. We've had snow in the mountains for today. Some resorts have had as much as an inch of snow in some locations. You can see some snow. I'm just pointing it out there to say it's around. Of course, this was in Baker City earlier today. Well, main part about this, when we talk about snow in the valley, how cold are the temperatures? And if we get moisture at the right time, which would be 7 o'clock in the morning or so, you can see that this morning some of these temperatures were very, very cold. I hope you made it through that with some of the gardens if you started early on some of those. And you can see temperatures down into the upper 20s to right around 31 degrees. If this is true, I don't know. This is what our computers reported, 22 in Mountain Home, 28 degrees for the low temperature in Twin. Well, afternoon high temperatures, it kept it from really coming up today. Most of the highs were basically into the 50s. I'm back up here to show you Twin Falls, which had the high temperature of 58 degrees. The winds, once again, continue to blow today. Wasn't as gusty as yesterday. If you recall, yesterday we had a 48-mile-an-hour wind gust, 26 in Boise. Ontario had winds over 50 miles an hour yesterday. So they're still there. This is kind of the annoying category, but at least it's not as dangerous or as damaging. And this time of the evening, we still have some of those light winds, and they're likely to back off even a little further than this. Even when you look at winds at 18 miles an hour in Twin Falls, down to about 5 to 10 miles an hour overnight. So what's the chance of us getting one of those passing showers? Temperature down about 32 degrees for tomorrow morning. Well, if you take a look at this and you see what's passing by Adrian, most of these showers haven't made it to Boise, but we've had a few light showers out here to the west end of the valley. Ontario, in some of those spots with some of the cold temperatures tomorrow morning, could see some light snow. A little better chance there. It's ever so slight that we could see something around Boise, but models are showing some showers moving down around Bogus Basin and some of the foothills there, so it's very close. Not the rest of the valley. I don't think Caldwell, Napa, but Boise, if there's a chance about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you might see some light snow, so don't be surprised if you happen to see it. If you look here over the northwest, we still have more moisture that's coming in. This storm system, interesting enough, is going to take the path of a lot of storms. It's going to push down here and move into California. As it pushes down there, the flow around it is going to come up from the southwest, so we get another chance of seeing some of these temperatures popping up there, getting up around 70 degrees or so. And if you look at the future cast on this, you'll see there's the light snow shower along the foothills toward Boise. There it is, about 7 o'clock in the morning. As we continue, there's still a few of those just hit and miss kind of showers. And then you'll notice as that storm moves to the south, here comes the clouds up from the southwest. Even then, there could be a light shower with that and warmer temperatures. That's not going to happen for about another day or two, though. Here are some of the nighttime lows. And you see daytime highs that are down around freezing for the Magic Valley. Most of your central mountains will have temperatures tomorrow in the 30s. That's it for highs. In McCall, down to 24 for tonight, and then 42 degrees for the high temperature tomorrow. Down here in valley locations, temperatures will be getting into the 50s, and then you see 36 degrees for the low in Boise with the high tomorrow. That'll be up to 56 degrees. So looking at the 7-day forecast, still kind of breezy tomorrow. I think we're going to see it Wednesday. As the temperatures warm up, it lets up a little bit on Friday and Saturday, but the chance of showers and these temperatures dropping again could mean some breezy conditions into the first part of next week. And something to mention about those showers, at this time it's in the forecast, but we'll watch it closely as we get nearer to the weekend. As that storm pulls to the south, if it pulls far enough, we may not see those showers at all for the weekend.
So still a couple days. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it is. And you know, the last January, February, March, April, the first 5 days, just a lot of rain, incredible rain.
In all those months?
All those months. But this May's not starting out that way.
All right, we'll
so
see.
We're breaking tradition here.
Yeah, exactly, a little bit. And again, it's going to be May 1st tomorrow, and we're looking at temperatures in Sun Valley at 37 degrees. That's nuts.
Yeah, and maybe down around freezing here, even close.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Rick. We'll be right back. Well, this week, hundreds of nonprofits across the state are hoping to raise a bunch of money, but they need your help to do that. Idaho Gives is underway. It's an annual online event where hundreds of nonprofits hope to earn your donations so they can keep doing what they do all year round. You can find more information about every nonprofit taking part this year, and you can make a donation right now at idahogives.org. So far, more than $1.6 million has been raised for more than 590 Idaho nonprofits. Again, the fundraiser runs through Thursday, so you got a little bit of time. Tickets for the St. Jude Dream Home, speaking of time, well, they are running out. The home is in Meridian, and right now there are less than 1,200 tickets available, fewer than 1,200, I should say. Those tickets cost $100 a piece. The 2,100 square foot home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, is in the Shelburne community in Meridian and built by the Berkeley Building Company. The finishes inside, we're told, are top-notch. You can see for yourself. You buy a ticket by May 3rd, you'll be eligible to win some other early bird prizes, including a brand new 2023 Ford truck, courtesy of the Idaho Ford stores. The money raised benefits St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where no family ever receives a bill for treatment or for housing, travel, or food. In the 18 years we've been doing this, you all have helped raise more than $16 million. Pretty amazing. To buy a ticket, call the number on your screen right now, 1-800-537-8939. But you could also go online, and you can buy them there at dreamhome.org. Well, the Boise State men's tennis team is headed back to the NCAA tournament to take on, well, the 11th-ranked Arizona Wildcats. And the head coaches of the matchup, well, you could say they're a bit familiar with each other. Brady Frederick has a look at the postseason next in sports.
I believe this is the best tennis community in the country, and I believe that we can reach the mountaintop. Yeah, we're kind of at the early stages of this, but we've kind of shown like what we're capable of these first 2 years, and our goal obviously each semester, each year is to keep growing, keep developing, and become the best version of ourselves. And I think the best version of ourselves is to compete with the very best.
For the second year in a row, the Boise State men's tennis team is headed to the NCAA tournament, and the deja vu is really starting to set in because they're headed to the same site as last year, Tucson, Arizona, to take on the same team as last year, the 11th-ranked Arizona Wildcats. Last year, in the first season under head coach Luke Shields, just making the tournament for the first time in 8 years was an accomplishment in itself. They've set their sights higher this season, challenged themselves with a tougher non-conference schedule, and they're ready to show the growth of their program. So while taking on Arizona for the second year in a row may not be an exciting new experience, it's still a shot to prove their worth against a Pac-12 powerhouse and avenge their 4-0 loss last spring.
I would say so, yes. We can say like we maybe get a little bit of a redemption, and we are more used to the environment. I feel like our team is more ready now, and yeah, we're excited for this opportunity.
We're definitely, I feel like, a stronger team from last year. Last year everything was new. It was a first experience. Everyone was stressed, a little nervous. I feel like we're a completely different team this time. We're better, we've worked hard, we have a good fall, and our season has been packed with great matches, great teams, good competition, and I think we're coming into it with a different type of confidence.
Second-year head coach Luke Shields has the same goals now as he did back when he played for Boise State. He wants the Broncos to contend for national titles, and the progress has been swift. In addition to back-to-back Mountain West championships and NCAA tournament appearances to start off, the Broncos also boast an undefeated record at home this season, and they played 13 matches against nationally ranked opponents. In terms of player development, they have the biggest increase of universal tennis rating of any college program. So what's next? Well, hopefully it's Boise State's first tournament win since 2009. The team that stands in their way is actually coached by Luke's brother, Clancy Shields, a former Boise State standout himself. While getting the win is really what matters most, the sibling rivalry certainly adds a little bit extra to the matchup.
Well, of course, there's always that chatter, and you know, my brother's better at talking smack than anyone. But you know, we've had thousands of battles over our career, and it's just another one. But it's really about the student athletes, and I think my brother would say the same. I think we're going in with a different mentality as far as like we're hungry to get to that next level, and I think we have a team that is capable of playing at a higher level.
Former Boise State guard Kobe Young has found a new home to continue his college basketball career. Today he announced that he will be transferring to Cal State Fullerton. The incoming redshirt junior played in 52 games for the Broncos, averaging just over 4 minutes per game last season. The transfer portal for men's basketball closes tomorrow. That means players can still join new programs if they're already in the portal, but no more players can enter the portal. Up on the Palouse, the University of Idaho will need to start looking for a new women's basketball coach. Today the administration announced that first-year head coach Carrie Amey will be leaving for the same job at the University of South Dakota. In her lone season at Idaho, Amey guided the Vandals to a 15-16 overall record and a first-round exit in the Big Sky tournament. We're back after this.
All right, another week, another release of musical acts set to perform this summer at the Western Idaho Fair. And this week, well, first, we know rock icons Kansas and Beach Boys, country star Nate Smith, R&B artist Young Gravy, they are on the list so far. So this week and today, we've learned country star Josh Turner is going to be among that lineup this summer. Concerts, by the way, they're free with a paid fair admission. Preferred seating and reserved grandstand seat and box packages, though, are available now for an extra price, so pay attention to that. Western Idaho Fair, that kicks off on August 16th, and it runs through the 25th. So get your tickets. I guess you could now or when they become available. But Josh Turner, another country star, heading to the Western Idaho Fair. Thanks for watching.